What's your proudest, technically I didn't break any rules moment? My apartment complex was straight up parking hell. Every tenant got exactly one assigned spot, and if your guest wanted to park anywhere else, they had to buy these stupid day permits for $15 each. Living there with my girlfriend Emma was torture because she'd stay over like 4 nights a week, but had to park 6 blocks away every single time. The building manager was this total control freak named Randy, who lived for catching people breaking parking rules. This guy would literally patrol the lot at midnight with a flashlight, looking for cars without permits. He'd already gotten 3 people towed that month alone, and everyone was terrified of him. One night around 11 p.m., I'm coming home and see Randy putting a boot on this Honda because it was parked maybe 2 inches over the white line. The owner was this college girl who started crying when she saw it. Randy just shrugged and said, "Rules are rules. Pay the fine or get towed." That's when I got the idea that changed everything. I went upstairs and dug out my lease agreement. Most people never actually read these things, but I was desperate. Emma was getting sick of hiking 6 blocks in heels every time she came over, and I was broke from buying permits constantly. After reading for like an hour, I found the exact wording of the parking rule on page 4. It said tenants must keep their vehicle within the painted boundaries of their assigned space and cannot occupy more than 1 parking space. But here's the thing. It never said anything about how many cars could fit in 1 space. The next day, I grabbed a tape measure and went down to check my spot. It was pretty standard size, but I noticed if you parked diagonally, you could actually squeeze 2 small cars in there. Emma drove this tiny Honda Civic, and my car wasn't huge either. So that weekend, I decided to test it out. I backed my car into the spot at an angle, then had Emma pull hers in right behind mine, bumper to bumper. Both cars were completely inside the painted lines of my assigned space. Monday morning, right on schedule, Randy came stomping over with his clipboard. His face was already turning red before he even reached us. "What the hell is this? You can't have 2 cars in 1 spot." I pulled out my lease agreement and handed it to him. "Show me where it says that." He started reading the parking section, and I watched his expression change from angry to confused to frustrated. The rule clearly stated vehicles had to stay within the lines and couldn't take up more than 1 space. We weren't violating either part. "This isn't what the rule means," he stammered. "But is it what the rule says?" I asked. Randy tried arguing about the spirit of the rule and how I was being difficult, but legally he had nothing. Emma and I had figured out how to park 2 cars in 1 space without breaking a single written rule. Word spread fast around the complex. By the end of the week, 3 other couples had copied our trick. Randy was losing his mind walking around the parking lot, trying to find violations that didn't exist. The best part was watching him explain to the property management company why their parking revenue had suddenly dropped. Turns out they were making serious money off those $15 permits. 2 months later, everyone got a notice about updated parking rules. They'd added a whole paragraph about 1 vehicle per space maximum, with detailed definitions of what constituted a single vehicle. But here's where it gets even better. Buried in the fine print of our original lease was a clause that said parking rule changes couldn't take effect until lease renewal. Randy had screwed himself by not thinking it through. I knocked on the management office door with my highlighted lease agreement. Randy's boss, this tired-looking woman named Patricia, took 1 look at the document and just started laughing. "5 years managing properties and nobody's ever pulled this before," she said. "Congratulations, you found a legitimate loophole." Randy became obsessed with catching me on other violations after that. He wrote me up for having my welcome mat 2 inches into the hallway. Another time for noise complaints because my TV was supposedly too loud at 7 p.m. on a Saturday. Management tried bribing me to voluntarily switch to a new lease. They offered upgraded appliances, then a better parking spot, then even a rent discount. The desperation was hilarious. By the time my lease was up, Emma and I had saved over $800 in parking permits. We moved to a place with a driveway, but I still drive by sometimes to see if anyone's still using the diagonal parking trick. They ended up repainting all the spaces smaller to prevent it from happening again.